Hey everybody, Thacia here with Legacy of Light in conjunction with One Love Wellness Center here in Menasha, Wisconsin, coming to you for my 30th day of my 365 days from my heart to yours. And today I just wanted to share a little bit from the Dalai Lama and the power of compassion and just dealing with anger and emotion. So it says, anger and hatred are two of the closest friends. When I was young, I had quite a close relationship with anger. Then eventually I found a lot of disagreement with anger. By using common sense, with the help of compassion and wisdom, I now have more powerful argument with which to defeat anger. According to my experience, it is clear that if an individual makes an effort, then he or she can change. Of course, change is not immediate and it takes time. In order to change and deal with emotions, it is crucial to analyze which thoughts are useful, constructive, and of benefit to us. I mean mainly those thoughts which make us calmer, more relaxed, which give us peace of mind, versus those thoughts which create uneasiness, fear, and frustration. This analysis is similar to one which we might use for external things, such as plants. Some plants, flowers, and fruit are good for us, so we use them and we grow them. Those plants which are poisonous and harmful to us, we learn to recognize and even sometimes destroy. There is a similarity with the inner world. It is too simplistic to speak about body and mind. Within the body there are billions of different particles. Similarly, there are many different thoughts and a variety of states of mind. It is wise to take a close look into the world of your mind and make a distinction between beneficial and harmful states of mind. Once you can recognize the value of good states of mind, you can increase and foster them. So, to me, it's kind of just saying every time that we recognize these negative states of mind, anger, fear, even shame and jealousy, hatred, rage, all these lower vibrational emotions, when we learn to recognize them and we have the intention to change, that's really all it takes. And as he said, it may take time, and it doesn't just happen overnight. So instead of being frustrated with yourself, give yourself a break. Yesterday we talked about compassion. Have compassion for yourself because you didn't immediately change. But when you choose to change and to recognize these thoughts, you then can change them, and you can, cultivate the more positive thoughts. To change your reality, to change your world, to be what you want to be. Like they say, to be the change that you wish to see in the world. So be that change for yourself, and have compassion for yourself when you have these emotions of anger and frustration, and learn to cultivate the other thoughts in your mind, the more positive ones, because as I've learned for myself, and that our words are very powerful, our thoughts are very powerful. Every thought is a prayer, and when we put that prayer to words and we speak it out loud, it's as if it's a spell that, they call it spelling. It's my spell to the world. It's my, my truth, what I want to manifest when I speak out loud after, having these thoughts. So when we learn to recognize the negative, and instead of speaking negative, to change our thought patterns, to look at it and say, what can I learn from this situation, instead of being angry and frustrated, and turn it into a more peaceful or learning experience, something you can take away from it that's not the frustration, that's not the anger. And on my mirror back here, I have, there's 22 kind of like emotions steps, and it's from Abraham and Esther Hicks, and it's just to like take one day at a time. And you know, this situation causes anger, and then the next day you can have discouragement, and just take it like one step up each day. And then the next day after that would be blame, and then the next day after that is worry, and then the next day after that is doubt. And just take it a day at a time. But really, even if you started at fear and depression and despair, in 22 days, you could change that thought pattern. You could change that emotion to joy and love and freedom, the highest of the vibrations, which we want to seek. And sometimes it's just the joy of the journey that brings you there. When, you know, and the intention, you know, even like the Dalai Lama said, it's, you know, if you want to change, you can. If your intention is to change, it will happen. It just may take some time. It's not, you know, a quick fix. And, you know, I feel like I fall into that groove often because I'm like, I want it to be fixed. Like, I can see the future. I can see the, you know, the joy of the situation or whatever. I just don't want to take the 22 steps in between or the 10 steps in between. I want it to be like, okay, I got the lesson, let's go. But sometimes we really don't get the lesson if it goes that fast. Like we think we do, but in all reality, we really don't, unless we, you know, go with the order of how things are going in our life and what the universe wants to bring to us and how it wants to show up for us. And all it takes is our intention to let go of these lower vibrational emotions. And as I said the other day, not only let go of them, but integrate them into who you are. Integrate them into your being. Because they are part of you, and they're here to show you a way, to show you that you can have, you know, the opposite of this fear, the opposite of this anger, the ultimate in every situation, the joy, the freedom, the love, to not be stuck in these lower vibrational emotions, but to love them and appreciate them for all the things that they've shown you. And that it's just your intention. Like, that is just so beautiful to me and so magical, that all it really takes in everything is our intention. And as I've said before, what you place your attention on becomes your intention. So when you start to recognize, you know, that these thoughts just, they may pop up here and there. And I imagine, you know, for the Dalai Lama, you know, they don't really anymore. He talks about in the book, you know, that when he was younger, he had, you know, some anger issues. And at first it was like, oh, well, my dad's an angry person, so that must be where I got it from. But then he learned to just to recognize these emotions and to have the intention of change. And I imagine that's working out for him, because he goes on to talk about, you know, having compassion for China, who has taken him, you know, from his home and harmed his people, and he still has compassion for him. He doesn't have anger. He doesn't have hatred towards them, because he learned to recognize these patterns and have the intention to change them. So once you have the intention and you start seeing where your attention is, you can begin to change it and to focus it. Because if we're, a lot of times, you know, people have like statements maybe that they might say every day, like, I'm beautiful, I'm wonderful, I'm magnificent. And these are very helpful. But if the other half of the day you're speaking bad to yourself in your mind, or, oh, that was really stupid, oh, I'm so dumb, oh, why would I do that, oh, I wish I wasn't like this, oh, that's where your intention is. That's what you're going to manifest. That's what's going to come out. If you know, and then if you have these emotions of anger and hatred, that's what you're going to receive. So if you start noticing these and just have the intention to, this is no longer where I want to place my attention, and just to recognize it and change it. And continually, every time you recognize it, just say thank you. Like, I appreciate you. I don't need that. And I'm going to move on. Like, I'm going to have a better intention for my day. And then when you speak those other words of empowerment, you just add those in maybe. You know, whatever is going to work for you to basically break these cycles, to bring you more into alignment with what you really want your intention to be. Like, I do want to change. I don't want to live in these lower vibrational states. I don't want to live in these lower vibrational emotions. I want to have freedom. I want to have love. I want to have joy. I want to be in those spots, in, you know, more often than not. And all, in the end, it takes is our intention. And to be aware, you know, recognition. And as I've said before, it all starts with us. Recognition of how you treat yourself, how you speak to yourself. Because your words and your thoughts are so important. And when you speak those out to other people and they're negative and they're hateful and they have despair, whatever, you are speaking those to yourself, whether you realize it or not. Because it's the interconnectedness of us all. Like the root system of trees, you know, they're all connected. We're all connected. So when I speak something negative on someone else, I'm speaking it to myself. So a lot of this is just awareness and our intention. What do we seek? How do we want to deal with our anger and our emotions? Do we want to be living in them? Or, as I've said before, live through them. Live through them to recognize them, learn from them, let go the attachment to the emotions, and integrate it into your being. Because we want balance, we want synergy, we want to be that oneness that we are. We want to remember the beauty of that oneness and why we came here to learn all these things. To learn how to recognize our anger and not have it affect us. Because, like I said before, from Muji Baba, the ultimate slavery is allowing someone else to affect your emotions. That's your privilege to decide how you act and react in this world. It is no one else's unless you allow it. Because we are the creators of our universe. We are love. And to have love, we must be loved. So dealing with anger and emotion makes a decision or the choice to become aware of when these things come into your life and make the intention that you do want change and that you do want to live in the highest vibration that you can, the highest vibration of joy and love and freedom. Freedom from the attachment to these lower vibrational emotions. And it is possible for each and every one of us to be like the Dalai Lama, to be like the Buddha. To embrace all of those attributes. We all have that divine guidance, that divine power within us. To be who we are. To be who we came here to be. And to love every part of that being, whether we view it as negative or positive. We came to love it all. So if you haven't subscribed and you would like to, I have a whole year, 365 days. As I said, today is day 30. So you can go back and watch all the other ones. And in the description section, you can find out other ways that you can get a hold of me. And just know that, as always, you are eternally adored and loved beyond anything that we could possibly measure in this earthly realm. So I love you and have a great day.